Okay, and week 3, we are going to start on the mat again today. So you're going to start lying down on your back and knees bent, feet flat. And we're going to keep building on what we've kind of started to work on over the last 2 weeks. So once you're down on your back, I'm just going to get you to stretch your right leg out straight. So right leg long, left leg bent. We'll start in this position. Start to bring both arms up towards vertical, back by your ears, and a big circle around and into your sides. Lift and reach back, taking a breath in, and circle around and into your sides. As you move the arms, I want you to think of moving from the shoulder blades. So the blades go up, the blades go around and in towards your spine. Just imagine that the arms are following the shoulder blades. They reach back and around. And adding some breath. Take an inhale as we lift up and back. And an exhale around. And inhale to lift up and back. And exhale around. Once more, inhale up. And exhale around. Just bring your arms up and arms together. Interlace your fingers. We're going to keep the arms straight. The right leg is long, so I want you to turn to the left. So we're turning away from the long leg. Turning through the ribs, the shoulders, and the head. And then back to the center. So the pelvis is steady, legs are steady. Turn to the left through ribs, shoulders, and head. And back to the center. And again, turning left through ribs, shoulders, head. And back to the middle. As we turn, let's really keep the right leg active. So you're going to stiffen that right leg, press it down gently as you turn. And back to the middle. Right leg active as you inhale and turn to the left. Exhale back to the middle. Yes. Right leg active, inhale, turn left. And exhale back. Last 4, we're going to add a little piece. As you turn to the left, start to pick up that left knee. Pull it towards you as you turn. Lower left foot, we come back to the middle. Rotating it to the left as you pick up the left leg. Lower down and back to the middle. Last 2, pressing right leg down. Pull the left knee in as you turn. And back to the middle. Once more, press right leg down, pull left knee in and turn. And all the way back to the middle. Good, okay. Hands just by your side, bend both knees in. Before we do the other side, let's do bridges. So tip back through your shoulders, stiff arms, press into your feet, and start to lift your bum up into a bridge, lifting up. And lower down the flat back. So once you land, there should be a tiny space under your lip. Pressing back your shoulders, press your feet to lift up. Lowering down in one piece with a little space under the lip. And again, press back your shoulders down, your feet to lift. And lower with that little space under the back. You keep going with this and just compare the 2 sides, front of the hips and the legs. You might feel that one leg is reaching further, a little forward. Probably the leg that was longer, but or might just feel that that hip is a bit more open. And if you feel the opposite, that could totally be true because all of our bodies are different. Last 1 here, press your shoulders and feet, lifting up into the bridge. And lower back down. Okay, now stretch your left leg long. Bring both arms up, reach them back by your ears. Take a breath in. And we exhale and circle the arms around and into your sides. Arms lift and reach back. And circle around and into your sides. Take a breath in to lift up and reach back. And an exhale, around and into your sides. Good, and up and back. Breath in. Exhale around and into your sides. Good. So keep that left leg really stiff. We're going to bring the hands together above chest and start to turn the upper body to the right. So now it's ribs, shoulders, and head turning to the right and back to the middle. Try to keep your arms straight as we turn to the right and we turn back to the middle. Stiff left leg as you turn ribs, shoulders, and head to the right and back to the middle. So essentially, we're keeping the lower back and the pelvis and the legs all really still. You try that on an inhale. You take a breath in as we turn to the right, and an exhale to come back to the middle. Stiff, active left leg, inhale right, and exhale. Okay, last 4. As we turn, press the left leg down and pull the right knee in towards chest and lower. Only going to lift the leg as high as you can keep the lower back really still. So I don't want you to flatten your low back or squish it down. It should be that little space. Again, we're going to inhale to rotate, lift, and right knee in. Exhale back to the middle. Last 2. Press down through left leg, lifting right knee, breath. And exhale, center. Last one, press left leg down. Right knee comes in as we inhale, turn, and exhale. Then both knees in. This time we're going to keep our arms up. Tip your shoulders back towards the mat. Press down through both feet and lift the hips up into a bridge. And this time we're going to roll down the spine to lower the bum down. So think of rolling down one load at a time. Press back your shoulders and feet to lift the hips up. Good. Sink the chest and roll down the spine. Roll by bone to bring the bum down. Feet and shoulders press. Lift the hips. And roll down the spine. And once more, feet and shoulders press. Lift the hips up. And roll all the way down. And once the bum is down, just place your arms into a big A-frame or T, so just really wide arms, and walk your feet out wide as well. You can be off the mat. Start to lift the right side bum and tip your knees to the left, letting one leg fall in, the other fall out. And then roll across the pelvis, tip your knees to the right so the left bum lifts. And back to center. Roll it across the pelvis and ribs. Opposite bum lifts. And roll across pelvis and ribs. Opposite bum lifts. So keep swaying your knees side to side. Start to turn your head in the opposite direction to your legs. The legs go one way, and the head turns in the opposite direction. Roll it across pelvis, knees tip, head turn. And roll across, knees tip, head turn. And roll across, knees tip, head turns. Once more, roll across, knees tip, and head turns. And all the way back to the middle. And bring your arms up and roll your whole body to one side towards the screen. Or you can right down to either side.
Doing that other. Okay.
What we're going to do today is we're going to take the top leg, bring it forward, and rest it on the mat. Bottom leg straight. And if that's there's any discomfort in your knee, you could always put a little pillow underneath your knee. Top leg resting forward, bottom leg straight. And imagine you're lying up against a wall. So you have your head aligned with your bum, aligned with your long leg. We're going to just have a little bit of space under the side of this. We've been practicing that. See if you can find that space underneath your ribs. So you're not letting your weight just fall. Okay? That alone should wake up the core a bit. Okay, so now the long leg. We're going to try to lift the long leg off the ground and lower down. Heavy through the bottom hip, push into the floor and lift the long leg. You could always cushion your bottom hip too if you need. That can sometimes be a little tender. So, as we lift the long leg, we're lifting from the inner thigh. Visualize lifting your leg from the uppermost inner thigh. Keeping again that little space under the side of your waist. If you don't quite feel the inner thigh, you can try getting a little bit straighter with the legs. Sometimes when the knee is a little bent, it takes us away from the inner thigh. Try straightening the leg even more. And we're going to go for 3 more. Pressing into the bottom hip, light on the ribs for 2. Now on this next one, get ready to hold. You're going to lift and hold the bottom leg up. Reach it longer, stronger, straighter. And from the back of the bump, you're going to start to press the leg slightly back in space, and then back to the center. Back, center. Press back, center. Inner thighs are still active, so keep that leg lifted, nice and stiff. And press back and center. Back and center. Back and center. 4. Check the ribs. Let's get light on the bottom side. And 3, 2, and 1. And lower the leg down. Good. Place your top hand down on the ground and stack your legs. And again, you want to imagine you're lying up against a wall. So legs aligned with spine. Take your top foot and cross it over your bottom foot. So you're crossing ankles. And that's going to get your inner thighs to get a bit closer together, a bit more stacked. Okay? Now again, we're going to lift, but this time lifting both legs up, cross, and lower down. So that bottom hip pushes down, both legs lift. And that feels like too much, go back to the one-legged version. Okay, just more challenge, because the top leg acts as a weight. So if you want more of a challenge, push the top leg down on the bottom leg. Create some resistance. So it's like it's lifting a heavy weight. Go for 5. Press into that bottom hip. Lift both legs forward. Good. For 3. Space under the side of the waist. For 2. And last one, go up to where you can hold. You can always really put weight on your hand if you hold it here. We're going to cross the ankles the other way. And switch. And switch. And switch. 3. Switch 2. Switch 1. Legs together. And lower both legs down. Okay, lots of work. If you felt it up the side of the waist, that's awesome. Now bring your legs a little forward, just a tiny bit forward of your waist. Okay, so no longer a pencil. Push your bottom leg down again, the whole leg. And this time we're going to lift the top leg from the side of the hip and lower down with control. So pressing into the bottom leg to lift top leg from side of and lower down. Where you don't want to feel it is the side of the leg or the front of the hip. So really try to think or visualize lifting from the side of the hip. As you lift, let's take a little exhale. And inhale to lower back. And an exhale, lift side of hip. Inhale to lower. Pressing the bottom leg down to lift. And lower. Of course, you could use your hand for support. It's a little wobbly. So 4. Bottom leg presses down. 3. Ready to hold. pressing down, lift for 2. And last one, keep the leg up. And from here, just gonna flex and point the ankle a few times. Flexing and pointing, flexing and pointing. Flex, point and flex, point and flex, point for 4, and 3, and 2, and hold it, flex. Push it to that bottom leg even more, and kick your top leg forward.
Oh.
We're going to point and press that leg behind our bodies. Try to get it behind you. Flex the ankle, kick forward, and point and press that. See if you could really use that bottom leg for stability. So pushing it into the mat, pushing it down. 3 more. You should feel somewhere right around the hip, front sides and back. 2. And 1. All the way back to the center, lower the legs. Bend your knees in. Push yourself up. And once you're up, we're going to do that split stance again. So I have my bottom leg forward, bent, and left leg back, bent. I'm kind of camouflaging the mat, but there's 2 fours here. All right, so from here, you should feel like one hip is heavy. So whichever leg is forward, that hip is going to feel more grounded, and the other one will feel light. Okay. Bring your arms out to a T, and start to side bend. Place your forearm down, and go up and over in a big stretch. And then control back up, press into that bottom hip, and balance in the middle. Tipping the ear over, forearm down, nice big stretch. And then come all the way up to balance in the middle. And we go up and over. Elbow down, big stretch. And control back to the middle. And once more, up and over, big stretch. Keeping that one side of your bum really heavy. Control back to the center. Stay here. We're going to turn towards that forward leg. So I'm turning my belly, my ribs, my chest, my head, and place both hands down. And if you need to adjust your hips a little to get comfy, do that. From here, we're going to do some cat-cow. So push into the hands, nod your chin, tuck your tail and round. Lift your head, lift your tail and arch. And push the arms, nod the chin, curl and round. And lift your head, lift your tail and arch. And again, push the arms, nod the chin and curl. And lift the head, lift the tail, arch. Keep going here, and a modification that you could do for the legs is also just stacking them together and being in a bit of a twisted position, or you could even twist less, so there's more space between your hands. So you can try that as well. For 3 more, pressing through arms as you nod around, lifting the chest as we arch. 2 more, push through arms to nod around. Lift the chest, arch. Once more, push the arms to nod around. And lift the head, lift the tail. Okay, from here, put weight on your hands. And we're going to swoop the legs around to come onto hands and knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Take your left leg back and curl the toes under. You get really tall in the arms, so you're not letting your ribs fall towards the floor. From here, we're going to reach the heel back and forth. So we're kind of rolling through that bottom, through the toes, and stretching through the ankles. Back and forth. And let your whole body shift forward and back with the movement of the ankle. Whole body chugs forward and chugs back. While you're here, keep the hips square to the floor. And you're really tall up the back of the arms. Like you're pushing the floor away and lifting your chest up into your back. So really tall the upper body. 3 more. And 2. And 1. And hold there. Push up tall through that left arm. And with your right hand, you're just going to hug the ribs. Right hand hug the ribs. Start to turn the ribs towards the left arm. Your hand can turn as well. And then push up through the left arm and turn the other way. Turn towards the left arm, so turning the ribs, the shoulders, the head. Push through the left arm and turn your ribs the other way. 2 more. Turning ribs, shoulders, head towards left arm. Push through left arm, turn away. 1 more. Turning towards the left arm. That left leg really stiff and turn away. Good. Both hands down, both knees in. Switch so the right leg is back. Stiffen that right leg. Start to reach the heels forward and back, rolling through the ball of the foot. Okay. As you do that, the whole body chugs forward and back with the ankle. Reaching your crown of head and reaching back to the heel. Keep that right leg stiff as you move through the ankle. And we're going to practice getting tall on both arms. Tall into the armpit, into the chest. 4 more. And 3. Reach 2. And 1. Hold the ankle in the center. Get tall through the right arm. And you're going to hug the ribs with your left arm. Turn your upper body towards the arm. So the ribs, shoulders, head turn towards right arm. Push up through the right arm to turn you the other way. And turn ribs, shoulders, head towards right arm. Push your right arm, get tall, and turn the other way. And rotate towards that right arm. Pushing through as we turn the other way. Okay, stiffen that right leg for 1 more. Turn towards right arm. Press up and turn the other way. Awesome. Both hands down, both knees down. You're going to flop over onto your other hip in that kind of double diamond, double 4 position. So if you're right hip, last time left hip heavy this time. And the heavier hip is the side of the forward leg. Okay, so arms up to the T. Side bend, find the back with your elbow, and big stretch over. And then unbend, come up to balance. And again, side bend, place the elbow down, big reach over. And all the way up to balance. Up and over. Push it to that bottom hip a little bit more. So you want to be heavy on that one bottom. The other one can stay light. So do 1 more like that. You're growing really tall. Grow tall. Up and over. And all the way back. You're going to turn your stomach, your ribs, your chest, your head to the mat, towards the bedside. Both hands down. And we're going to try some cat-cows in here. So we're going to nod the chin, try curling the tailbone and rounding. And lift the head, lift the tail, and arch. Pushing through the arms as you nod the chin, curl the tail and round. Lift the chest, lift the tail and arch. And push through arms, nod the chin, curl and round. Lift the head, lift the tail and arch. Good. And nod and round. Keep that going. And just a reminder, an alternative version for the legs is to stack them. And you can always move your hands further from your body to leave more space for your body. Go for 3 more. See what you can do with moving the tailbone up and down as well. Last one. and arch to up. Now we're going to come down on this side. So you place your elbow down and swing your legs around. So you can lie all the way down on your side. And we want the top leg bent, resting forward, bottom leg straight. Top leg bent, resting forward, bottom leg straight. From here, see if you can pick up the side of your ribs a little bit. So there's a little hole, enough to maybe slide your fingertips in under the ribs. Bottom hip heavy. We're going to start to lift the long leg, bottom leg, and lower back down. The bottom hip is heavy on the mat as we lift. You can always put a cushion under there if it feels a little tender. Down. And lift. Control that down. And as we lift and lower, we're looking to feel work in the inner thigh. So imagine you're lifting and lowering from the inner thigh. Specifically the uppermost inner thigh. So almost from where you can imagine where the hip crease is. You're lifting from the hip crease. As you lift, just notice if you're sinking your ribs. If you are, just make your lift a little smaller. So maintain that space under the side of your waist. You'll actually feel the inner thigh much more intensely. Go for 3 more before we hold. And 2. Last one, we're going to lift and hold. Okay, really straight, stiffen that leg, and start to press it back. And center. Press it back. And bring it to center. Press back. And center. Excellent. Press it back. And center. Yes, the inner thigh is still on, but I want you to try to tap into the base of the glutes a little bit. They help us take that leg back. 4. And 3. And 2. Keep your spine and ribs as stable as you can for 1. And lower. Stack the legs now. So place your hand on the floor in front. Stack the legs. Cross your top ankle in front to the bottom ankle and try to get your inner thighs to touch as much as possible. So lots of contact. Push into the bottom hip and lift again. Both legs. Lower down. And both legs. And as we lift and lower, we're really using that bottom leg to do most of the work. The top leg is like a weight or almost like resistance, making it harder for the left leg. So you can choose your challenge here a little bit. If you want more of a challenge, you can push down onto your bottom leg and make it hard. So keep that going. Check in with that little space under the side of your waist. Allow our ribs, the front of the ribs, to relax a little. So if you find there's tension or you're arching your back, try and soften that. So you keep your back nice and relaxed, especially the mid back. 4. And 3. Get ready to hold. 2. 1 and hold up. And start to switch the legs. And switch. And switch. And switch. Good. 4. 4. 3. Good. Switch 2. 2. 1 and 1 and center. Lower all the way. Good. Bend your knees in. You're gonna roll over onto your back again. So you're lying on your back. All right, so from here, before we come back to the side bum exercise, just want you to try reaching the right leg long, hands together. We're just going to see if our rotation is different. So keep your right leg long. Start to turn your upper body to the left. And just see if you have a bit more range than the first time you tried it. And back to the middle. So right leg long, turn the upper body left. And back to the middle. As we do that, do it on an inhale. So take a breath in to turn. And an exhale, center. And the breath in to turn. And exhale, center. Just give me a little thumbs up if you have a bit more range. One more side. Back to the center and switch legs. The left leg is long, the right knee is bent. And we're going to rotate again, this time to the right side. And back to the center. Just notice if your ribs have more give. There's a bit more movement now in rotation. Taking a breath in as we turn ribs, shoulders, head. Center. Taking a breath in, turn ribs, shoulders, head. Center. Two more. Take a breath in, ribs, shoulders, head. Center. Last one. Taking a breath in, turning ribs, shoulders, head. And back to the center. Awesome. And lower the arms down. Turn back to your side, the one we're just on. Didn't forget. We're going to have our legs a little bit forward. So there's a fold of the right front of the legs. Press into your bottom leg. And from the side of the hip, we're going to lift the top leg up and lower down. You can keep lifting just above body height, but no higher than 45 degrees. That's a little bit from the side of the hip. And lower down. And again, bottom leg presses, lifting from the side. Where you don't want to lift from is the side of the legs. If you feel like IT band or your calf even working, then try to bring more attention to the side of the hip. You can always bring your hand there or poke or even tap a little. Think of lifting from there. Bottom leg heavy as the top leg lifts. And bottom leg heavy, top leg lifts. Good, and lower. Two more before we hold. Pushing with that bottom leg, lifting top leg. Lower. One more. Pushing bottom leg, lifting top leg. Now come down to hip height and hold, leg is slightly in front of you. And you're going to flex and point through the knee. Flex and point, and flex and point. Flex, point, and flex, point, and flex. Point. So pressing the bottom leg into the ground. 4 and 3 and 2. 1 and hold the ankle flexed. Start to kick the leg forward. Keep pushing that bottom leg down. Point and press the leg behind you. Get it behind the hip. Flex and kick forward. Sit, point. Try to get the leg behind you. You could always use your top hand for balance. Ideally here the spine is really quiet, right? So the lower back stays with that little arch. 2 more. Let's kick forward. Point, press back. 1 more. Flex, kick forward. And point, press it back. Come to center and lower the leg. Bend your knees in. Push yourself up. Back to hands and knees. So we have hands on your shoulders and knees on your hips. And you want to have a little bit of a roundedness in the mid-back. So your ribs are pumping up. And just by picking up the front of the ribs, you might feel a bit of abdominal work. Little arch in the low back. We're going to shift our weight into the right hand and the left knee, left shin. Once you're there, slide the opposite limbs long and lift them up. Let's tap back down. Shift it to left hand, right knee. Slide the opposite limbs long and lift up. Lower down and tap. Shift weight into right hand and left knee. Slide, lift, lower, and tap. Slide into left hand, right knee. Slide, lift, lower, and tap. So keep alternating here. And the idea is that you keep your spinal alignment really still. So no matter where you are in the weight shift, want to try to be stable from head to tail. One more each way. Slide, lift, lower, and tap. Once more, slide, lift, and lower, and tap. Come all the way down. Curl your toes under. So a couple options here. We're going to come to stand. You could go into a pike or you could come up to a lunge and then come up to stand. So I'm going to teach the pike. So curl the toes under, bring it tall through the arms. Press into the toes and come into a pike by pushing the hips up and back to the arms. And just pedal out your heels a few times. One heel up, one heel down. And then reach both heels down as far as you can. Keep your hips as stable as you can as you walk your hands into your feet. Round the feet and roll up to stand tall. And then once you're standing, you're just going to align your heels under your sitting bones. So your feet are right under sitting bones, hands on hips. And from here, we're going to go into a little hinge. So I want you to keep your knees soft. Start to hinge by letting your sitting bones travel back. You're creating this fold at the front of the hip to hinge forward. And then drive your heels into the floor, unhinge to come back up. So again, yeah, that idea of keeping the spine the same as you do the exercise. You keep your spine in the same position. The hinge comes from the hips. Push through the heels as you come up to stand. Soft knees and hinge. Bum travels back in space. Press through the heels as you come up. And again, we hinge. Soft knees. Feel the hips glide back. Excellent. So you want to feel the back of the legs are working. We're going to start to reach the arms forward now. Reach forward, and then press the heels down, press your arms back in space. And it's okay to feel a little bit of work in the low back once you add the arms. Shouldn't feel like a compression at all, but the muscles or the fascia does tense up a little when you do this. Reach through arms, press your heels, come all the way back. Excellent. All right, so we're going to keep going with this. We're just going to keep layering things on. On the next one, we're going to reach through arms and hinge. Press into your left foot. As you come up to stand, we're going to bring the right knee up. Lower down and hinge. Push your right foot. Left knee up. And lower down and hinge. Push your left foot. Right knee up. And lower and hinge. Perfect. So keep alternating. I want you to focus on your inner thighs here. Think about creating some stability for your balance from the big toe all the way up through the inner thigh of the leg. So it's almost like it's a strut that's pulling you up. We have inner thigh support to balance. And don't be afraid if you're rolling in on your foot. It's okay to roll in and let the heel roll in a little bit as well. It's our way, it's a strategy that our body uses to create balance. Great work. And we're going to go for 3 more. Inner thighs like struts, creating balance. 2 more. Up. And 1 more. And lower your feet back. Good. From here, we're going to be wider in our stance, a little wider. Legs ever so slightly turned out. Okay. So widen the hips. And again, you want your back to have that little arch in it. We're going to start to bend the knees to go down into a wide squat and press through the legs to come back up. So as you come down, make sure your knees are okay there. Right? Knees stay wide over big toes. Press through legs to come back. And we're going to bend to get down into that squat. And press up. Excellent. You guys look great. As you come down, lengthen the inner thighs. You're going to come up slower. Come a little slower. Yeah. Turn out. Think inner thighs as you come up. Perfect. Good. So keep that going. I'm going to keep throwing in some details as we go. For the next few, try to stay more upright with your torso. So we're not hinging forward as much. It's almost like your spine is straight and you're coming down through the hips. Good. 3. Control up. Turning out the inner thighs, lengthen. We're going to power through inner thighs to come up. For 2. And turn out squat. Power through inner thighs. Come all the way up to stand. And then heel toe your legs back to hip distance apart. Have your arms in front. Take a breath in. And start to nod the chin. We're going to exhale and roll down. Soften the knees. Hang your arms, hang your head. Take a big breath in at the bottom. And as you exhale, we're going to roll up by pressing the heels down. Feel back the legs, wake up. Feel stretch for your low back. And come all the way up to stand. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in. Nod, exhale and roll. Softening the knees, letting the mouth drive back. Face. Inhale at the bottom. And as you exhale, press through heels. Start to roll back up. Tall. Awesome. Great job, everyone. All done for today. Adding on some layers. So we've added on a bit of inner thigh. We'll go back to those lunges next time and kind of start to bring things together.
Thank you. Awesome class.
Thank you.
Mila,
Good
thank you
work.
so much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.